Incremental greetings. This is William Palau, also known as William Palace. Today, I have one question. I have no clue what's going on. So here I have the English collection. You may see it differently because I modified the cosmetics. So as you can see, I'm using a subset review of general English. And I'm doing new items. So those items are pending, as you can see here, pending, 0 reps, and so on. So what's happening is that I noticed something very odd. So I have no idea of this item. So what I will do is rate myself as 1, right? Look, today is May 4th. So I have one interval of 25 days, even though I failed, and I rate myself as 1. If I rate myself once again as 5, look, June, that's 1 month, that will be 6 weeks, something like that, which is huge, but I don't mind that because I rate myself as 5. But how is possible that rating as failure? Look, now I'm getting a June 7. So rating myself as 1 at the first repetition, it's 5 weeks, almost 5 weeks. I don't get that. So what I have seen in the Supermemopedia is that I'm here. These graphs for the first interval. So I'm assuming I have to look at this one, because since it's a pending item, there are no lapses. It's 0. So that will be 20, and it seems the maximum, because it's the same as 10, 15, 16, and 17, which this is huge. I don't know if I have items with 17 lapses. And then this circle is, at my understanding, is the bigger it is, the more items there are, something like that. So each time becomes smaller because there are less items. And another question is, how is that 3 lapses is higher than 2? What's the competition? How it's calculated? So I have seen in here Supermemopedia that one user reported that just the other day. That's very recent, from this week. But that's a different case, because he did 2 repetitions, then he's lapsing a card. And you can see that he rates the item with 1, the lowest possible, yet he's doubling the interval. But what happens now is that here it's a new item, a pending. So my guess is that the calculation is different. That's the previous history of those items. My other guess is that it's taking into account the siblings, which what is happening. Yeah, I'm doing now those items in that order, I guess. So the next will be to rent. Let's check that out. Yeah, to be rent. Okay. So that most of those items for me are pretty easy. So I rated myself as 5 or 4, most of them. So I think that now Supermemo thinks that I have a super brilliant memory, because even if I fail, it's setting a huge interval. So just for the sake, just once again, June 10. Okay, I will rate myself as 4. Oh look, May 27th. It's an interval shorter than a failure. So what I covered in a video is that I tried to experiment with rating 5, 4, and 3. Those 3, because those are successful. What I have seen is that there's an overlap of all 3. That means that the rating number 3 can set a next interval on the range of number 4 and 5. and the opposite is true. Even if I rate myself as 5, that interval could be in the range of the rating number 3. But what I didn't take into account were those two, because I assumed that will be impossible, that a failing grade could have a larger interval than even number 5, which is happening. Now I have 4, but off screen I did more items today, and I rated myself as 5, and I get May 26, which is about 3 weeks, more or less. And with rating number 1 or 2, I get up to 2 months interval, which is ridiculous. Let's do another example. Alien, okay, I will make this a failure. Oh look, it's pretty consistent. From May 20 very late to June, start of the June. So I will try to understand the reasoning, because I think it's using a different matrix. Yeah, so I'm guessing, so now it's brainstorming, is if there's a pending item which there's no prior history to look for, it's looking for A factors of the ceilings. I really don't know. But what's happening, for instance, is that if you look at my forgetting index, in these recent days I focused especially on the English items, and the forgetting index is getting higher than ever. So I'm failing items more than before. And I think that's because, at least short term, I'm getting failing items 2 way into future. So of course I will forget them every time, unless I do a manual reschedule myself, which perhaps I will do it. But I will really like to understand the behavior, why Supermemo is scheduling those very long intervals. It is because I made like 2,000 successful repetitions on that branch that now Supermemo thinks I have an extremely good memory